What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here. We are back with the Expedition of the Damned, a Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th Edition campaign. I'm, of course, your GM, your DM for the night, Jumbo Thick. We have the full cast of the expedition. The crew is here, and they are chomping at the bit to get into this. So I think we're going to skim over introductions just so that we can expedite this process. And we will just move straight on into it. So, last we left off, the crew of the expedition had decided on ultimately pursuing a investigation of sorts into the suspected knights, specifically the branch of the Knights Panther under the tutelage of the Lord Commander Dieter Hellwig and his newish followers, after a suspected, one might say, heretic ritual was discovered out in the desert, along with the disappearances of a few men here and there during your caravan expedition so far. In the course of this investigation, Master Luther was detained somewhere else, and we'll be finding out more about him, while the rest of you pursued these gentlemen out into the desert. However, you were ultimately challenged with a tough choice. One being to either fully pursue the knights that were very apparently trying to keep themselves hidden further out into the sands, leaving the pass that you guys had moved through to cross into the Great Sands, or turning back and dealing with knowledge that there's something is going on, but possibly being able to prepare for it for the later. You decided on the latter of turning back, not fully pursuing them, which led you to the realization, as Nazaro revealed to Henry, and then by proxy the rest of you, that during the night while you were gone, after a large food stores had been discovered, the food stores had been discovered to have been tampered with in some way, with vast majority of the expedition's foodstuff turning to dust, contaminated by some foul contagion or just bad luck, plague of some kind. A very small portion of it being preserved by Feng Shi, of all people, who had spotted the contamination and had cordoned off about a quarter of your food supplies before they could be ruined. This led to a hard march out into the desert for the start, as everyone was fatigued, starting to begin to succumb to famine, as you were already working off rations at this point, with your food stores being so low. Not a good time to find out that you have run out of one of your most valuable resources. However, after a few days and a decent amount of scouting options from you, a destroyed caravan, much smaller than your own, was discovered by, wouldn't you know it, a scouting group of Knights Panther. And within said caravan was crates of preserved food stuff, mostly bread and things of that sort, stuff that could be traveled long distances and still keep. This must have been a true godsend. You all were hesitant at first to look a gift horse in the mouth, rightfully so, and decided to let Wolfram's most faithful men eat of
They deserve a good reward.
Eat of the spoils first before you decided to partake yourselves, bringing it back to the expedition, with everyone succumbing to strange and bizarre dreams that very night. Then upon the next night, a larger feast had, as Wolfram followed some, one might call them dark deal whispers, and dealed out double portions to his companions, meaning the men under his command. which I'll remind you, he's in command of the entire handgunner unit for the expedition. So they got extra food.
They look
And
so hungry though.
somehow or another, in the middle of the night, Lucien was the only person that we've touched base with so far. We'll be getting to the rest of you shortly. Lucien was awoken as a scuffle was happening nearby his tent, as it appears that one of the members of the expedition, one of the men, was attacking his second, Johanna. And as Lucien moved to intervene, the man's flesh split apart, revealing a horrendous sight to him as he was spattered with blood. And then that's where we normally would be picking up. However, we need to find out where 4 more of our members are currently located. One of them, we will find out what's been happening to them during this entire time that they have been missing from the party. So we're going to start with the lovable Luther. And this takes place before the food stuff has been spoiled. This is that day, the day that he didn't ride out with you that night. He was busy for some reason. So, Luther, you've been tasked with the burden of leadership. As with Mistress Reyna no longer with us, Sigma rest her soul, the burden of her responsibilities have fallen to you as the one who stepped into her shoes, in a sense. This has led to mostly a lot of meetings with the other expedition heads, mostly your other magisters, a lot of bickering, infighting, decisions to be made on resources, tactics to be discussed, possible obstacles throughout the desert, and then ultimately a conversation is had, Luther, that I need your input on, because this will have great decisions for the known future. As you are currently in a meeting within the tent of Nazaro. All the expedition heads are here. The Knight Commander, your 2 fellow magisters, and even the leader of the Harem Guard, who has been kind of tasked with your caravan's protection from the Sheik. And Magister Weiss speaks up. Well, all this is well and good, except, does anybody even know what we're going to do once we get to Sudenburg? Reyna was the one holding all her cards close to the vest. Perhaps Luther would like to enlighten us.
If I remember correctly, I don't know too much about what I'm supposed to be doing, right?
You discovered a diary from Mistress Reyna.
Yes.
Some papers that, and in this diary, it was the memoir of a former mage sent from the colleges. That apparently is the trail you are following.
Was his name Kepler?
His name was Kepler, yes.
Kepler, okay. My apprentice's name is...
Excuse me, your apprentice's name is Kepler.
Oh, okay.
The man you are following is...
I have my notes somewhere, but I'm only playing on my phone today. My internet's down till Wednesday.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Well, to say the least, well, if you don't have your notes, it's not going to matter anyway. So, the mage that you were following, because I'd have to look it up right now, where I can take the time to do it.
Sorry.
The mage that you were currently following was said to have information being the ultimate goal for the expedition as a whole, as something dire affecting the world and the winds of magic. was being pursued by this gentleman who led him into the desert.
And this was years ago.
This was years ago.
Okay.
He hid the location of whatever it was that he discovered. He wrote it down for future reference, fearing for his own life, and hid it within Sudenburg. Which, when this information finally traveled back through the grapevine to the colleges, they rallied a second expedition, your expedition, and with the idea of this deceit being had, hid this information from the vast majority of the people they sent, not knowing who to trust. And apparently Mistress Reyna was the, unbeknownst to everyone else, the true leader of the expedition, but she is no longer.
Okay. And she left notes to the effect of like, trust no one, right? I believe.
Yes.
Correct.
She said, trust nobody.
Unfortunately, I know very little myself. Just that we need to go to Sudenburg, and that information will reveal itself once we arrive. Unfortunately, I think we must put our faith in my dear departed Mistress Reyna, your comrade in arms. That she knew what she was doing, and that the college it would have not sent us unless it was of dire need. As we're all loyal subjects of the Empire, I'm sure we can all just put our nose to the grind and sally forth.
I don't know about loyal subjects to the Empire, but I am loyal to coin, my friend, as Nazaro jests slightly.
Of course.
That is very good indeed, Luther, as Alderbrand speaks up. Come now, Weiss. Come off this. We will discuss this once we get closer to our ultimate concern. We should be more worried about crossing this great deserty expanse. The Knight Commander just kind of glares at you, Luther.
Knight Commander? I tip my
he stands
head to him.
And before he turns, he says, let me know when you know what you're up to. I've got better things to do, better places to be. As he walks out the tent.
Of course, Lord Captain.
As the tent floors close, the rest of your afternoon is spent in deliberation. You dodging questions. Make me a perception check, Luther.
Let me check what it is. Sorry. Slight delay. I'm switching between apps.
Switch.
All right, I'm gonna roll first. Now I gotta see my perception. All right, here. Oh, that's 83, I believe. 83.
I'm gonna say that's probably a fail.
Probably a pretty big fail. I think it's 30s or 40s.
Okay.
Let me double check.
Do you want to spend anything to re-roll, or you think you're gonna be okay with that?
I think I'll probably be okay with it because I don't think I have a very high chance of getting it.
Okay.
No, I mean, that's like almost 5 levels of failure. It's in the 30s. My perception is not very high.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I'm probably going to stick with it.
You don't want to re-roll it? You're good?
You know, it'd be hard for me to, to grit it, I think. Yeah.
All right. The rest of the night goes somewhat uneventful, or the rest of the afternoon, Luther. And as you come out of the tent, the first thing you notice is that you can't find your apprentice, Kepler. He should be standing outside.
Luther lets a big sigh. Is Ignis still there, at least?
Ignis is still standing there, yes.
Ignis, I can expect you to inform me where Kepler is. Saying, basically, I know he can't talk to me, but, you know, somewhat jokingly.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. We will have to do some strenuous training. I'm contemplating numerous types of chores and degrading things for Kepler to do.
For sure.
As trading. Let's see. Well, I guess it's up to me. I'm going to see what everyone else is up to. It's night currently, right?
It is nighttime. In fact,
Okay.
it's so late that it's probably time for bed. It's so late.
Okay.
Like the camp is already kind of gone away. And you would know, Luther, that before you went into your meetings that your companions were going out. So they will not be here this
Patrol.
night. Yes, they were going out to observe the questionable knights.
Ignis, it's times like these, I thank you for your companionship and your counsel that you have often given me. As I stare up at him.
Yep. He just kind of creaks a little bit, his
Mhm,
flames
mhm.
sputtering.
I can't help but worry about my companions out there alone in the night. Truly, they're lost without me. Well, hopefully they return quickly. Lucian is there. Well, that is something to give me some warmth. But let's turn in for the night. So I noticed. I know my perception roll was super low, so I guess I'm not really focused on anything
No,
around
you're
me.
not.
Um,
As you move towards your quarters, Luther.
my magical quarters.
Yes. You go to
Okay.
reach into your robes, searching
Yes.
for the item you use to enter into your encampment, and it is not within your robes.
Ignis? Where did I put my? It's a magical lock, I believe, right?
It is.
Yeah. Where's my lock? I'm feeling around my robes.
It's not there.
Kevin must have misplaced it inside my other robes. He was told to launder them in a certain way. Damn it, Kepler. Um, so I'm kind of fiddling around.
Yes.
Do I know where I kind of like set up my?
Yes, you do.
Because I had
Yeah,
to
it's
put it
not.
in a door. I know, like a
Yeah, you
doorway.
you have a tent
Mm-hmm.
that's empty that you just put this on the outside and then it enters into your
Okay,
quarters.
so I'll head to my tent, assuming that's where I think I probably
Okay.
lost it or left it.
You head to your tent, and the first thing you notice, Luther, is that the lock is in place.
Did I leave it in place, or do I
Maybe
remember leaving it in place?
you're not sure, Luther.
Damn it!
Maybe you forgot to take it with you.
Somehow this is Kepler's fault, Ignis. Um, as I open the door, I'll open, or I try to go through the portal,
Yeah, you have to kind of push your way in. There's
push my way in.
resistance at first, Luther, which is unusual, but then you kind of
Damn
like
it,
push your way in, and as you push your way in,
Kepler!
you
What is the meaning of
see
this?
you do see Kepler within your quarters, rummaging through your desk. As he turns, huh, he
What is
looks
this?
terrified, Luther.
What are you doing here?
As you say that, he says, You're not supposed to be here. You,
What
you were
do you
supposed
mean
to
I'm supposed to be here?
you were supposed to be gone for the rest of the night.
The meeting is over, and I can't help but notice you weren't there to await my exit from the head tent.
He's clutching something in his hands, Luther.
Kepler, what do you have there?
You've damned us both! As you say that,
Kepler,
Luther,
please.
I need you
I'm not
to
that angry at you.
make a dodge roll, Luther.
Oh God. Okay. Oh. Let me see. Sorry. I'm gonna roll first, and I'll have to see what my dad is. I think my dad's pretty good. 48 out of 48 out of 60.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
one level of success.
One level success. Luther,
Mm-hmm.
You feel sharp pain across your back as you take
About to die.
12 wounds.
Ooh,
You can reduce it by your toughness bonus.
Oh yeah, that's not much though. Okay.
As you are slashed across the back, you and you stumble forward as you turn behind you, and a man, a large man wearing plate armor, wielding a massive sword in his hands, is standing behind you, almost silently. His armor doesn't appear to be making any noise. As you look at him, Luther, he doesn't look right.
Shit, what kind of armor are we talking about here, bro? What are we looking at?
The armor has a shimmer to it. And as you kind of like focus on it, your eyes hurt. And you see there's strange runes and glyphs scattered across it. Illusions.
Tate. Yes.
Indeed.
Kepler, is this you doing, you bastard?
Kepler looks completely terrified at this point. And I'm going to need you to roll initiative, Luther.
Oh, God. I've already taken, like, grievous wounds. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, boy. All right. Let me roll initiative. Sorry.
I'm rolling for the knight and for Kepler.
D10, correct, I believe?
Yes, it is a D10.
Not too bad for me. That will be plus my initiative bonus of 3, so 11.
11, okay.
12. Sorry, 12.
Luther, you are first to act.
I need to look at my things. This is a dire situation currently. Is Kepler in an aggressive stance towards me?
You're not sure. I'm assuming you turn to face the knight.
Yes, the knight.
And so he would be behind. So Kepler would be behind you, Luther. You're not sure what he's up to right now.
That's cool. Oh no. The spell I picked up is not really appropriate for this situation. I need to check something. Oh, okay. So I need to check. Oh, I don't have many of those either.
Here comes the magic man.
I mean, the magic man is gonna have to do something. I am going to try. This guy slipped through Ignis bastard. Okay, I'm going to.
You might think. I will say this, Luther.
Mm-hmm.
Either he bullied his way through your construct, or he was already in the room.
Okay. I will cast. Sorry. A washing option.
So hard.
So long.
I know. I want to use a resilience point, but I've only got one, and I don't want to use it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I will try to cast. I'm going to try to cast Dangling Swords.
Okay. You're not going to channel. You're just going to cast it.
I mean, I'm going to try to cast.
It's a bold move, Cotton. I love it. Let's go for it.
I know, bro. It's just, I don't have There's not a lot of time. I mean, he's right in my face. I don't have my normal
It's
bulk in
true.
front of me, you know?
You do have a there is a fire always going in the fireplace, so you can get
Okay.
a small bonus from that.
Okay. Okay. I got my clothes on my staff.
You do. Hmm.
Um, so that would be yeah, -2 +1. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Here we go. Rolling. Oof. I might have to use reroll already. Not as low as I need it.
Reroll it. Oh
I'm gonna reroll. I'm gonna reroll. I gotta
no.
reroll it. Gotta
Oh
reroll it.
no.
My system's a bit better. Slightly better.
Slightly
We'll do the
better.
math.
Slightly
Um,
better. Is it enough though?
two success levels. -2, 4.
Maybe.
I can. I might have to do this. I'll use another fortune point to. Can I make? Can I do that? Can I make an additional success?
Yeah, it makes it one success. Yeah.
Okay. If I do that, I'll have just enough to
To cast it.
to cast it.
Okay.
It's not going to be bonused or anything, but
Pulling all your
I get it.
resources to cast it. Nope, no
Yes,
problem, Luther. Okay.
it's a singular sanguine sword.
Hey, you summoned it.
I summoned it.
It takes a lot of
It's there.
effort as you're bleeding, you're hurt, as you
Yeah.
summon forth and you pull forth the magic, summoning the burning sword hovering in the air before you.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm going to send it forth towards
Mm-hmm.
the dude, bro.
Dude, bro, Chaos Man. Yes,
Chaos
the
Man.
knight.
Yes, Archon, or Archeon,
I sorry,
the
said
Everchosen.
Lord Archeon. No, it's not Arcana.
Uh,
But yes, go ahead.
okay. All right. I'm
Does he
rolling
get a
again for the
defensive roll?
sword. He does. It's just like a
Okay,
normal,
just like a normal
a
sword.
normal.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right, go ahead.
It is a single degree of success for the hit.
I also I have 2 degrees of success for his defensive roll.
Oh, he blocks it. He blocks
So he
it then.
blocks it. He brings his blade up, and somehow it appears to not be of normal metal, Luther, as he pulls it up, and it deflects your magical sword.
Damn. That's my turn. That's all I can do. I mean, I'll
Okay.
shift away a little bit closer to the fire,
Yeah,
but that's all I can do.
you kind of like backpedal a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
The knight at this point holds out a hand, an open like palm towards your direction, like this, not like this, like this.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No. So, the during the deflection of your missile, excuse me, your sword, Luther, the illusion shifts for a moment. The armor appears black, where before it looked silver. The tabard, a deep, like royal bluish color, almost teal. It's so like, and it's into the kind of like a strange spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And it has these strange eye symbols all across the tabard. His helm is horned in many places that resemble almost feathers. The knight and his almost talon-like gauntlets issue forward. He springs forward. He springs past you. And his blade takes Kepler's head from his shoulders in an instant.
Damn.
Blood spatters across the room. He's instantly beheaded.
I bet.
As he falls dead at your desk.
Do you know how hard it's going to be to find another apprentice out here in this wasteland?
As you say that, Luther.
I mean,
the
Luther's
man's
real hot right now. I mean, Luther, the fire behind Luther is starting to rage a little bit
exactly.
higher. You know, he's upset about it.
It's your turn, Luther. What would you like to do?
Um, uh, ah, dang, what do I want to do now? What do I want to do? I could do it. I need to check something. I have the ability to cast it, but I rarely do. But I might be able to. What is it? Uh, ooh, okay, okay. Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna try it.
What you
I'm
got?
gonna roll. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll again. Here we go. Ooh, 39. Um, sorry, I need to look at my stats. Spellcasting is tough in this game. Apologies. A lot of things.
Indeed, it is. You forced me to learn it in more detail. I don't
I
appreciate
know. I know. Okay.
that. Now,
It's enough.
do you have to use your action to use the sword, or does it go? Does it just stay there?
It stays there.
Okay,
Now I do have to.
yeah.
I do have to use my action to actually use it, so I'm
To
not going to be
actually use
using
it.
it this turn.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. All right.
but it is still there. It's just not doing anything.
Not
Just
doing
hovering
anything.
around me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I am going to cast um, uh, Flaming Sword of Ruin on my staff. Um,
Okay.
it's going to ignite and flame.
Hmm.
Um, I'm going to take a defensive stance.
Defensive stance.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm scared. Um,
You should be.
but yes, I'm here waiting. Um,
All right.
we'll see what he does.
As you take this defensive stance, the large hulking knight reaches down, grabbing the journal
Damn it,
out of
Kepler,
Kepler's hands.
you bastard!
He pries it from his cold, well, not really cold, but his
Oh,
recently
yes,
dead fingers.
lifeless
And
fingers.
as he does, you watch as he moves with incredible speed, not towards you, but towards the exit, Luther.
Damn it! I chase after him after he leaves the
Well,
door.
he uses his movement to leave, but as he's stepping through the door,
Uh-huh.
you watch as he turns, and if you could see his face, you would almost see him smiling. As he reaches
I can feel
down,
him smiling.
you can feel him smiling. As he reaches onto his waistcoat, or his waist, where there is something in a sack.
Oh no!
He rips it free, revealing a collection of human skulls that have been bound together with a horrendous rune engraved in all of them. And as he does, you feel yourself almost becoming sick to your stomach, Luther. Your sword of ruin disappears. Your staff sputters and becomes nothing as he drops the skulls and passes through the magical barrier that then becomes twisted and unraveled as the mark of the dark gods is unloosed within your magical sanctum, and one who does not appreciate the winds. And we'll see what happens to you. As I need to roll on the table now, as you have become untethered from reality, Luther.
Oh. That's cool.
All right. All right, Luther.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
The flap of the tent door, kind of closes, and it swirls in place and then rips apart. You see an open, gaping chasm rip before you. You know that the space you're in is not necessarily one tied to the material. It is one of a dimensional space. And now you have been sent adrift across the winds as this baleful, heretical talisman sits at the doorway. Each of the marks of the dark god, the blood god,
I knew it.
glare outwards. I need you to make a cool test, Luther.
Cool test. That's a 34 under 70.
No problem. Luther, you contain yourself. You feel almost an innate anger boiling up in you, but you manage to keep yourself from roiling.
I'm always angry.
Exactly. But you have your faculties about you for now. What would you like to do, Luther?
So the skulls aren't turning into some sort of monsters right now, are they?
No, they are not. It appears that they are eating away the magical construct that is this room.
Do I know a way to destroy the skulls as far as like magical destruction or
Let's see how much you know about the dark gods, Luther.
well, I know a lot about magic, but I don't know about dark
Mm-hmm.
gods necessarily.
Well,
Lord Chaos, is that what it is?
let me put it like this, Luther.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You hear a whisper on the wind. One might call it, this might be a reverse dark deal.
A reverse dark deal. A good deal.
I will give you the information you desire if you take a point of corruption.
Oh shit! So it's just
Or
just evil.
You can roll for it,
Uh-huh.
and maybe you'll get your answer. Maybe you won't.
What kind of roll are we talking about here? What roll are we talking about?
This would be a lore chaos.
Lore chaos. Lore chaos. If I don't have lore chaos, what kind of roll are we talking about here?
That's a straight intelligence roll, isn't it?
Yeah, lore's intelligence.
A smart cookie.
You are?
Take the deal, bro.
We need your intelligence last session.
Let's see here. I'm gonna roll it.
Okay. We're rolling it.
I'll roll it. All right. Let's see here. There we go. That's a critical success.
Critical success, Luther.
Under 60.
No, as you hear the whispers beginning to invade your mind, suddenly there is a ear-piercing scream.
Oh, I was about to say, Luther, as he hears the voice, who are you to tell me anything? And
there's a cacophonous scream, female, not normal, one you've probably heard before, that deafens out the other voices, focusing you.
Ah, yes.
In an instant, you see that these talismans are simply talismans. They can easily be destroyed with force.
Okay.
Magic will not affect them in any way.
Okay. With my sanguine sword?
Your sanguine sword that does not exist right now.
Oh, I got clicked away. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It has one might call it, you have come to the realization that this cornate talisman is beginning to negate all magic in its vicinity.
All right. I'm gonna run over there and give it a little bop with my staff.
Let's see how much damage you can do, Luther. Give me an attack roll.
A while since I rolled the old staff.
Yeah, the old staff.
Let's see here.
Let's see how many hits it takes you.
13. Not a terrible roll for me.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
I'm not the strongest man, though.
Mm-hmm.
No Henry or Nog.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that would be 3 plus the damage of the staff, which I believe is 4. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, of course, that's 4. Yep. So 7 plus my success levels, which would be another 4. So 11 damage total.
11 damage from the first strike. You come and you pound on the talisman. You get in close proximity to it. You crush one of the skulls. There are 5 skulls.
Mm-hmm.
You crush one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Completely.
Mm-hmm.
Please actually make sure. Excuse me. I misspoke. There are 8 skulls.
8 skulls? Of course there are.
Yes.
Bastard loves 8.
Yes.
Damn. Okay.
You crush one of them, Luther.
All right.
Give me another cool test.
Okay. 53 under 70.
Okay. All right. You're still hanging in there for now, Luther, keeping your rage in check. Make me another attack roll.
Okay. Rolling again.
Does he get momentum since he
Yes.
made it successful last time? Cool.
Yep, that's momentum.
30. So that would be 10. 10 damage.
Another 10, another skull crushed. There's down to 6 of them at this point.
Okay.
Make me another cool test, Luther.
Oh boy, these are cool tests, bro. A lot of cool tests. 58 under 70.
Still good. Make me another attack roll.
Okay. Ooh, shit.
You're hanging in there. A 1. With a 1, Luther, you crush 2 skulls and another mighty swing.
Hell yeah.
You're just wailing away as they beginning to crush and shatter. You witness as the room itself is starting to form back underneath your feet. Where you were floating in an empty void, the structure is beginning to pull back into itself. Make me another cool test, Luther.
Mm-hmm.
There are 4 skulls left.
7.
No problem. Make another attack roll, please.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. That's a critical fail. I'm gonna have to re-roll that.
Fail, Luther. Do you have any left?
You got 1 left.
Oh, okay.
That's 15.
All right. Another skull.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, another skull smashed. 3 left, Luther. Give me another cool roll.
Ooh, 93. That's a fail. That's a fail.
You got 5 momentum, bro. Is that enough? I mean,
Well, I don't think it
those don't count for cool rolls.
Yeah, just for
join me in mutation
rolls. You take a point of corruption, Luther, as the rage of the blood god begins to fill you.
Okay.
You also gain an additional plus 10 to your attack rolls.
Okay, well, that's something. There we go. Rolling again for attack.
Mm-hmm.
42. It will hit.
Okay.
With that, my success levels for hitting, like 14 or 15 damage.
15?
Yeah.
14 or 15. Important.
Let me do the actual math to see it. It's 14 damage.
1 skull crushed, 1 left, Luther.
almost got 2, I guess.
Make another cool test.
Oh, damn it. 7.
No problem. You're cool as a cucumber, Luther.
Rolling for attack again. 18.
You
Should
crush the last skull, Luther. In rage, you smash the final skull. The room flexes, and then as it begins to pull back in place, you are somewhat shocked as a blinding light floods the interior of the room. You stumble back from the opening of the tent. As you see just a pair of eyes looking in. Burning eyes. Familiar eyes. And as they look towards you, you see flashes, images almost. You see flashes of the what appears to be the caravan. They're being massacred by red-skinned demons with burning blades. You see mutants floundering about, killing one another, as well as within another flash you see the Knight Commander himself fleeing the encampment, clutching in one of his gauntlets the journal taken from your quarters.
It's him, bro. It's him. I knew it here, you bastard.
As it flutters back into place, Luther, you're on the ground, clutching at your head. As you look upwards again, the tent flap is normal.
Are these visions of Christmas past, Spirit, or these visions of Christmas future? What it could be?
As you mock the spirit, do you attempt to leave, or are you staying?
I am going to try to leave. I got to save my friends.
Yeah. You kind of move and push your way out of the tent, and we'll see where you end up.
Okay.
As we...
can I, before I leave, can I cauterize my wounds?
Sure. It'll take some time to cauterize your wounds. Go ahead and roll for that. Henry!
Thank you.
Word to you before we find out what's happened to the rest of us.
I'm asleep.
A
nice dream.
You will not be asleep because you have been awoken.
Damn it.
By a all too familiar knight, Theobald, the lapdog of Commander Hellwig.
Yes.
As he awakes you, as he appears to be, he's pushed his way past your lessers, your squires, and is nudging you awake. He appears to be in full armor.
What do you want now?
Coming with me. Commander wants to see you personally.
Obviously, I'm not out scouting.
No, you're not. He needs to talk to you now. He says it's important.
Right, well. Let me get my things, let me get dressed.
Make it quick.
Yeah.
You gather your things, Henry. Do you put on all of your armor?
I mean, he didn't tell me to, and I'm not expecting anything to happen.
Okay. So you just kind of get somewhat decent.
Last words.
Do you take with you your weapons?
I mean, I would just grab like whatever weapon was nearby, a sword or something.
Is it just a generic sword, or is it a special sword?
I mean, I'm not expecting to go into combat right now, so it'd just be a generic sword.
Okay, regular sword it is, Henry. Of course it is. Henry, you strap on.
I was asleep.
A regular long sword kind of on your hip, push outwards, placing your last second dagger within your boot, just in
I always
case.
have a dagger.
You look out as you see Theobald. He's like tapping his foot on the ground. Your squires are kind of gathered around, staring at him. Come quick, boy. As he moves to make his way onto his horse.
I'd follow. Grab. Yeah, because their camp was farther out, right?
Yeah, they're farther away.
Yeah, I'd go grab a horse.
You grab your horse, mount it, and ride with Theobald out to the knight's encampment. When you make your way there, the first thing you notice is there's quite a bit of activity. It looks like they're starting to break camp in some places, which is unusual. It's the middle of the night. Theobald doesn't look surprised at any of this. Marches his horse straight up to the commander's tent, dismounts, and waits for you.
Get off. Theobald, you going somewhere?
Just go talk to the commander, you'll see.
Outside the tent.
You push your way through the tent. Theobald stays outside. You push
I see
away.
Otto anywhere?
Once you push your way into the tent, you do see Sir Otto in the tent, actually. As well as it appears to be four other knights in their armor. Otto is not in his armor. He's similar to you. He's wearing just appears to be just a sword on his hip and regular clothing. He looks to you, Henry, somewhat confused. And then you look towards Commander Helwig, who's also in his full regiment of armor. The heretic's pyre laying out across his desk. He looks over his shoulder at you, Henry. Took you long enough. He turns. You seem to have grown. Unusual.
Well, I've done a lot of fighting since we landed in this land.
Henry, I have an offer for you. One that I recommend you take. You see, these fools at this expedition are, let's just say they're all damned. And I don't plan on going down with the rest. I serve no one's whims. I follow the one true Lord. And I think you might as well. He kind of looks at you, cocks his head a little to the side.
One true Lord, you do mean Sigmar.
I think you know who I mean. Otto looks supremely confused at this conversation happening.
I also start looking around the room, see if people start to
the other knights are wearing their helms. Two of them step in behind you at the blocking off the entrance.
Commander, I've noticed you're in your armor a lot lately. Do you ever take it off anymore?
Want me to take it off?
I don't see a reason why you have armor on right now. Why are you packing up in the middle of the night?
Will you pledge yourself to me and my own? Or do you join the rest?
Or the rest?
The rest in that encampment over there.
Of course I joined them. I swore to protect them. We all did. At this point, my hand is probably sliding up to the hilt of my sword.
The hilt of the blade, Henry. You hear Theobald stepping in behind you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have time for this, Commander. I say we burn them both. Be done with it. That's enough out of you, Theobald. This one's special. This one's devoted, whether he likes it or not.
The only burning we do around here, Theobald, is of heretics.
Don't have time for this, Commander. In almost an instant, Henry, the commander has closed the gap past you.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch as he grabs Theobald by his throat with one hand and raises him in an act of strength that should not be physically possible. It's like, you dare speak to me this way. The man clutches at the gauntlet.
I will pull out my sword and aim it at the commander's neck, shoulder area.
Mm-hmm.
Insubordination is not punishable by death, Commander.
He looks over his shoulder, drops Theobald, who just begins to gasp for air. You want a duel, do you? I'll give you a duel. His hand opens, and the heretic's pyre summons forth, looks like of its own volition, into his open palm. It immediately lights in blue flame that dances around its tip. And I need you to roll initiative.
Do it! Heresy! Oh, I think that's a 10.
A 10. Okay. The Knight Commander steps forward. None of you get involved. I'll handle this whelp myself. He will bend or he will burn. As the commander steps forward, with his hand not holding the blade, he grabs a hold of his armor and tears it free. It begins to fall off of him. It's only fair that I give you a decent fight. You see his flesh is strange across his bare chest. It looks like there is something moving within his guts. Something wriggling and squirming. There appears to be eyes decorating his shoulders, his actual chest area, and only you can assume across his back, as they begin to open and stare, each of them in different colors. All colors and some that you didn't know existed. He says, you face a true servant of change. Before he can step forward, Henry, you are first in initiative.
The only thing I see in front of me is a heretic. And I will make a move at him.
make me an attack roll, Henry.
Okay. That's all. We're off to a bad start.
That's a bad start.
You know, we're gonna re-roll. Can I re-roll?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That is
67.
It's a 67 out of 65.
Okay. As you move to slash, the commander ducks underneath and drives his blade through your chest, piercing the flesh. You will take 16 wounds. and you are lit on fire.
Ooh, that's not good.
You can reduce it
I'm
by your
assuming,
toughness.
or does it bypass the toughness?
It does not.
Ooh, then that puts me at 0 because I have 16 wounds.
Put you at exactly 0.
To
No,
exactly
no,
0.
no. You get your toughness bonus.
Okay.
So you're still up.
Okay.
The flames, however, do not burn you, Henry. But you have a burning condition.
Okay.
As you watch as your skin is ignited where the blade passes through. The commander turns and spins upon you. And he says, "Do you yield? Do you bend? Or do you burn?"
That hurt a lot. I'm probably like dropped to a knee, a little winded. As I, holding my stomach in place. I look up at him, probably coughed up a little bit of blood. I'll never yield to the likes of you. And I will slowly stand back up.
And you burn. As he thrusts the sword toward you yet again. Defend yourself, Henry.
Oof.
Pretty
5
good.
levels of success.
That's enough, Henry. As you parry the blade at the last second. It is then the end of the round, Henry. I need you to make a endurance test, please.
Oh, my endurance? Damn it. I gotta reroll. I have a 50% chance to pass this.
92.
There we go. Okay.
There you go. 20. You manage to keep it together for a moment. You feel a pulse from the flames licking across your body as you feel almost a heat rising within you. Familiar, one might say. But you manage to bite it back for the moment. He looks at you. Oh, so you do have some fight to you yet. One of his many eyes kind of blink. It's your turn, Henry. You're burning.
But
you can use a resolve point to remove your
I'll probably
condition.
do that. We'll remove the burning condition.
Okay.
And
what are we doing, Henry?
Do I see Otto? I like to imagine me and the commander like switch places. Do I see Otto?
Yeah, you look over towards Otto, and both of the knights, there are 2 knights by him. They have him clasped by the shoulder, and they're kind of like holding him on his knees. He's witnessing this. He's like trying to fight them off, but he can't move.
Okay. Well, if I die, the rest of the party's gonna wonder what happened to me. So we're going back.
Okay,
going back to the commander. We're gonna take him on again.
Okay. You bring up your blade and move to swing, Henry.
It's just a success, unless I get a momentum. Then it's 1 level of success.
You do get a point of momentum.
Okay, it's 1 level of success.
1 level. Do you want to stay with 1 level of success?
Yes, because I've already burned through 2 points.
Okay.
And this just started.
You move and you swing yet again, and the commander almost preternaturally, as his many eyes blink. He grabs the blade with his bare hand. It doesn't cut into it. It's almost like thick, as if it's like an armored hide. You notice his hand is taken on this strange purplish blue color. As he grabs it, stopping it in place, and as he does, he slowly sinks his sword into the tip, straight to where your heart should be, sinking it in deeply as you take 14 more wounds. You are ignited once again as you Well, you take a critical injury is what you take.
Yes.
So, roll me a D100. And it's to the chest. We already know that.
25.
25. All right. I need you to make a -20 endurance test, Henry.
I need Ulrich on this one. Fail.
Okay. As you fail, you gain 3 stunned conditions. As he sinks the blade in, it ignites, lights deeply, and he slashes you from chest down to your groin.
Ow.
And a low blow, one might say.
Split me in two.
The fire doesn't feel like it's burning you, though, Henry. But you can see yourself lit aflame.
Yes.
As the commander steps back, you hit 0, you go to prone, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the round, which is now, I need you to make another endurance test.
Any negatives?
No, just a regular.
Great. I mean, we're crushing these.
Yeah, you're still fighting it off somehow, Henry. I don't think I need to make sure. I don't think the burning condition can incapacitate you. If you hit 0, let me make sure though. All right, ablazed. Nope, it doesn't. All right, so you're still up, Henry. It goes to the next round. You're still conscious. You're in a state where you can't defend yourself well.
Yes.
So you have a prone condition,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a ablazed condition,
and stunned.
And you have 3 stunned conditions.
Yes. I guess I don't know if the stun or the blaze is better to get rid of, because the blaze is going to come back. What does the stun do?
You cannot take an action.
Okay.
So you cannot do anything, actually.
It says you can. I'll remove the stun. Like
it does say you can defend yourself. Remove a stun condition for each. You have to make endurance checks to remove stun conditions. You have resolve point, though, whichever one you want to remove.
Yeah,
stun
we'll do
conditions. Yeah, okay. So the stun conditions give you minus. Right now you have 3, so you're at -30 to all tests.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll remove the stun condition with the resolve.
Okay.
Possible.
So you're down to 2 now. 2 stunned, 1 prone. You can't use an action. However, when did you do the test? You can make a test. You just can't make you do an action. So you can actually make an endurance test right now at -20 and try to remove stun conditions.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Yeah, fail.
All right, your turn is spent there on the ground. The commander just kind of looks at you as you're burning, prone. You're kind of like staring up at him. The blue flames licking across your flesh. It's at this point that you hear screams echoing out. The commander stops what he's doing. It's too soon. I told them to wait, damn it! Ah! He looks around. Damn it! Pack everything up. Where's? And a man steps in, blood across his armor, and hands a book of some kind to the commander. A journal, perhaps. Good. We leave now. You hear Theobald. What about him? He looks towards you, Henry, laying there burning. Leave him. Leave the weak meat for the rest. Otto thrashes and screams, "No! No! Take the old man. I have uses for him." As Otto is dragged past you, Henry, as he reaches out for you as you're dragging past, your hand grasping his, but you can't hold on, as he is dragged free, kicking and screaming, fighting to come back to you. And it all begins to fade. And that, I feel like, is a good place where we can take our first break.